Hi everybody, I'm teacher Lucia and welcome to my final oral report. I had a group of 9 students, 8 women and 1 man. The most of them are from Caquetá and one of them is from Huila. They study in different schools, but 3 of them study in Institución Educativa Los Sagrados Corazones and the others study in a different institution. All of them are 15 years old. At first, their attitude was a bit shy, but the good thing is that afterwards they already gained confidence in each other, and the sadness that they suddenly had of making a mistake when they speaking. They were very aware of the classes, they always participated, and they were very respectful to each other. The relationship that I established with my students was a very beautiful relationship. I allowed them to know a little about my life and they allowed me to know about their life. So that made us trust each other, but we didn't accept that trust. It was always a trust of respect. Talking about problems, the main problem was the computer failure. In all classes, I had failures, and also about internet. But a class was never missed because, I all replaced them. Okay, as practicing teachers, we must always have a plan B for those problems whether in language or technological learning. So I consider that in my practice, the problems that arose were always solved by developing the plan B that was stipulated in the lesson plans. The tools that I used during my practices were interactive platforms. Platforms such as Pertec, Padlet, Educanti, EducaPlay, Kahoot, and others. I always tried to make my classes different, not to do the same activities, but I knew very little about platforms, so I had to repeat some of those activities, but the important things is that the students were always participative. At the beginning of the course, I established rules for the students. The main rules was to respect classmates, not make fun of each other, not be rude, and respect the opinion of others. The use of the English language in my class was 15% because my students sometimes didn't understand the instructions of the activities. So there I spoke in Spanish so that they could understand and develop the activities. The evaluation strategy that I used was through games. I consider that games are a good teaching method. They are very didactic and done per student. The practice is very relevant for my teaching training because it is the experience that I take to develop in my work environment. And with the practice, I realize how it's to work with the students, what methodologies use, and what I must improve. What was new in my practice was a virtual teaching, how to use platforms to carry out activities for students, and how to solve problems regarding technological failures. The activities that I did with my students were a lot of game activities related to the topics, and that attracted a lot of attention to them. So one day, when no games were developed, they asked me why I didn't do that type of activity. So I took it into account for the other classes. The teacher's help is very important at this stage, and the teacher Gabriela, as a tutor, is a teacher who, despite the short time she was with us, she proved to be a good teacher, solving our doubts and giving us significant advice for our practices. And Professor Julian is an excellent teacher, a person who is very dedicated to his work and contributed a lot of my practice. Is a teacher who always encouraged us to continue and always remind us that although we are practicing teachers, we were the best in our practices. I consider that he's a complete person, integral, and very, very respectful teacher.